In the 2024 legislative session, the Arizona State Legislature passed HB 2721, which requires cities to allow duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, and townhomes, collectively middle housing, as a permitted use on single-family residential lots within 1 mile of the municipality's downtown area, as well as on at least 20% of any new development of more than 10 contiguous acres in size, without requiring public input or hearings. Although passed in 2024, the provisions of this law must be in effect by January 1, 2026. As a result of the state legislation, Scottsdale now must amend its zoning code to comply with state law. The state of Arizona grants cities and towns with local authority the ability to set zoning and land use regulations subject to state law. However, House Bill 2721, which was signed into law last year, preempts the city on certain provisions as outlined in the new law. Scottsdale opposed the bill as it was working its way through the legislative process. The city argued that local governments are better equipped to handle housing issues, while still allowing for public input and preserving the unique character of the community. With the passage of the bill, Scottsdale must now update the zoning code to remain in compliance with the new state law. Middle housing is defined by state law as buildings that are compatible in scale, form, and character with single-family houses and that contain 2 or more attached, detached, stacked, or clustered homes. Under this definition, middle housing includes duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, and townhouses. This new law requires cities to allow middle housing as a permitted use on single-family residential lots within 1 mile of the municipality's downtown area, as well as on at least 20% of any new development of more than 10 contiguous acres in size, without requiring public input or hearings. Historic properties are included under the state's middle housing law, meaning they may pursue middle housing just like other eligible sites. However, House Bill 2721 does not alter how cities currently review changes to historic properties. Scottsdale's existing design review procedures for HP-zone sites remain in place. Demolition restrictions that apply to eligible historic properties do not change. So while historic sites are subject to the new middle housing law, there is still a local process to safeguard their character and historic integrity. Formal action must be taken to update the city's zoning code. Per the effective date of the new state law, the new provisions resulting from HB 2721 must be adopted by local municipalities by January 1, 2026. The city began this update process with the city's Planning Commission initiation of the zoning code amendment in July 2024. 2 public outreach meetings will be held on September 10th and 11th. The Planning Commission will hold a non-action hearing on September 24th and a recommendation hearing on October 8th. The amendment will then go to City Council for their consideration, review, and possible action before the end of 2025. The city must have these new rules adopted into its zoning code by January 1, 2026 as per state law, otherwise middle housing will be allowed on all lots within the municipality zone for single-family residential use without any limitations. Visit scottsdaleaz.gov, keyword active planning cases and permits. And reference 5TA 2024. In the case number field, otherwise, utilize the QR code provided on screen. To see the full version of HB 2721, the topic of this presentation. Review the proposed draft zoning code amendment. Provide public comment. And stay up to date on the public hearing schedule and continued opportunities to provide public input. Thank you for your interest in Scottsdale's efforts to comply with state law.